I'm just like you, you're just like me. We can't stop watching these movies. Is it a curse? No, it's a dream come true. Yes, I'm a Barbie girl like you.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for another meeting of the Barbie Council. I'm Brianna,
And I'm Kevin.
and every month we're diving into a new movie from the ever expanding Barbie cinematic universe. While our meetings are available to the general public, the content is not suitable for children. Today we're covering Barbie as the Island Princess.
A true classic that we've got right here. And I will say it is very nice to be done with Fairytopia. After three movies, I was done with the same characters. Laverna with her same stupid plot, seeing Bibble, although we kind of have a Bibble replacement here, but I'm I'm just excited to be in like a new world, really, with this one.
Yeah, moving onwards and upwards, away from Bibble.
And we're also moving back into musical territory with this one. We've gone kind of a while without a musical Barbie movie, but back here with a ton of songs, and a lot of them are really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed them. I was singing along to a lot of them because, of course, I've seen this movie a million times. But they're really catchy. They're just really good songs. Not all of them, but
Yeah.
most of them are really solid.
And a lot of them have very different vibes. Like you have the opening song where they're introducing island life, and it's very upbeat. They've got a good night song that is much quieter. You've got the villain song, which is incredibly unhinged, and I'm excited to talk about that one. Some lines in that song are
Oh yeah.
wild, and I'm honestly surprised that they were allowed to put those in there.
Like, can you do? Can she say that?
Yeah, is that allowed? Is that legal? So why don't we hop into it?
Yeah.
So in this movie, we've got Ro, the main character, Barbie, and she has been shipwrecked on this deserted island as a child, and she is found by basically her surrogate parents. We've got
Mhm.
Azul, the very flamboyant peacock, and we have Saji, the much more even keeled red panda. And as far as animal sidekicks go, before we get into the third, they're pretty great. I think they balance themselves out quite well. You've got Azul, who is just kind of crazy, and then you have Saji, who is much more level headed with certain things.
I love Rose gay dads. They're just so wholesome.
The introduction to Azul is great. So when Ro gets washed up on this beach, there's also kind of like a chest that's washed up as well, and it's got clothes and other jewelry and stuff, and that's the first thing that Azul finds, and so he opens it up and starts diving into it and grabbing all of these different like jewelry and putting it around his neck, and he's looking in this mirror and he's like, "Oh, gorgeous!" And then Saji says something, and Azul's like, "I was talking about me, not the items,
Yeah,
just me."
he's got his priorities straight. Like, fuck this random child who washed up on the beach. Like, he
Yeah,
just cares about his
because yeah,
jewels.
Saji sees Ro on the beach, just like basically dead, what looks like, and he's like, "Oh, Azul, get over here!" And Azul's still digging through this chest, and he's like, "Fine, okay." And then he also has the
Right.
line, "When she wakes up, she can swim back to wherever she came from." He's kind of
Wow.
a dick. He
Azul.
gets a lot kinder as the movie goes on, but at the beginning he's a little bit of a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's very self-obsessed and dramatic, and Aoji just kind of like puts up with his bullshit.
But they work well.
Yeah, they're good together.
Then, unfortunately, along the way, between when she was a child and when this movie takes place, we get a third animal that enters the family, this one being Tika. And I will say, thinking about this movie from watching it years ago, Tika was super annoying, and I thought she was on screen way longer, but upon rewatching, she's kind of not. She's annoying when she's on screen, but she is not on screen nearly as often as someone like Bibble is.
Yeah, she's there, but it's not constant. It's it's merciful. She's only there a little bit.
Definitely more of a side character. Looking at Bibble in comparison, Bibble is much more of a main character in Fairytopia than Tika is in this one.
Yeah, he's just always there. But Ro, like, she's in lots of other scenes without the three other animals, so she kind of like does things on her own. Where I feel like Bibble was just there all the fucking time. Like he would not go away.
Yeah,
But
he
the animals do their own thing. Ro does her own thing. It's refreshing.
it is nice. Well, when they're on the island, they're kind of mostly together. The first
Yeah,
song that we have,
that is true.
the song is great. I've got a question about the contents of the song. They're talking about jumping on this trampoline through the treetops. What is this trampoline? What is it made out of? What?
We never see the trampoline. I had this question too. Like, what are they bouncing on? And whatever it is, how can it hold Tika's weight? She's an elephant.
Yeah, she's huge. And all of them jump like to the same height through these treetops. So it has to be within the trees that they're jumping off of. Is it like really bouncy vines or something? I don't know. The rest of the song is
No, like,
great, and
is it
then
did a trampoline like wash up on shore
I
in
don't
this
know.
time
In
period?
this like medieval-ish time period, they got trampolines. I don't know.
Knows.
Questions
Yeah,
aside, it
yeah.
was a
At
very
one point,
catchy song here on my island.
yeah,
Is
yeah. And then Tika's at one point in the song is guarding a pie, but it's not a pie.
no, not at all.
It's just like a bowl of berries.
Yeah. And I'll stay here guarding the pie. Yeah, because it looks like just a bunch of berries, and then she sticks her trunk in there to kind of to steal some, and it falls apart like berries. They're all like individual pieces. Like that's not a pie at all.
Not a
I don't know if Ro, when she got washed up on this beach, she was 5 or 6 years old. Maybe that's just what she thought was a pie, and then taught that to them, and that's what they thought. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't know better.
It's a weird pie. I don't understand.
Yeah, but other than that, the song is great. We love it. Very catchy. And then Tika wakes up from a nightmare and she's just like smashing her leg into the tree and then wakes up all the other animals and Ro. Um, and she basically like guilts Ro into staying up all night with her.
Yeah, she's
She's
like,
like, I guess I'll just stay up all night.
she got that look, like looking at Ro, like all night. You picking up what I'm putting down? See what I'm saying
Yeah,
here?
yeah. You feeling bad for me?
Yeah. And of course, Ro,
Of
because she's
course,
so
Ro.
kind, she's like, okay, sure, I'll stay up with you. And okay, sure, I'll sing this goodnight song because you're just so incredibly needy. Oh,
Very
man.
soothing song though.
It is a very good
It'll put
song.
me to
And
sleep.
I like how she learned this when she was a child, and so she doesn't remember all of it since it's been so long. So for part of the lyrics, when she doesn't know it, she just hums the rhythm, which I thought was a nice little touch.
Mhm.
And that comes in later in the movie as well.
Oh yeah, foreshadowing.
Yeah. On the topic of voice actors, did you notice the voice actor for Saji got some really good credentials with this one?
Okay, he sounded familiar, but I couldn't place where he was from.
So the one that I heard in his voice was King Randolph from the 12 Dancing Princesses. That's the one where I heard it and I was like, oh, that like sounds similar. So I looked it up and it was him. You also have King Wilhelm and Major Mint going way back.
I love Major Mint.
And then the most surprising to me, I cannot hear it at all, Fungus Maximus.
Wow.
Saji
Yeah,
is
I
Fungus Maximus. I guess Fungus
they're
Maximus
very
was
different.
putting on some sort of weird accent, but I
Was.
can't
Yeah,
I can't hear
really
the
hard to hear
similarities.
it. I guess he's just a really versatile voice actor. Very impressive.
Yeah, yeah. If you could be Fungus Maximus and Saji, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, wow. And I recognize the prince too. He's probably been all the other princes.
Yeah, he's been a couple of them.
He's got that prince voice.
Going back to Tika for a second, you want to talk about her character design? It's really good.
Yeah, I hate it. It's a bad time. It's hideous.
You
Like
got,
the texturing on her face, well, her whole body. Like she's supposed to be an elephant, so like wrinkly, but it just looks bad. And then her eyes are enormous, and of course her mascara is super heavy.
oh yeah,
Like, where do you find mascara on this deserted island?
they've
I
got
gotta
it.
know.
I guess maybe it was in the chest, and they've just been using
Yeah,
it for
just
the
like an
past
endless
10
supply.
years. Yeah, and I feel like every
Yeah.
single angle that they show Tika at is a bad angle. Like something about it just looks
Yes.
like off, especially when it's like showing only one eye or like something about where the camera is. Maybe it's just that Tika doesn't have a good side. I don't know,
She doesn't.
but it never looks good.
Her trunk always looks weird. Like the way it interacts with her mouth just looks wrong, usually.
Like looking at the artwork for it, like if you look at the cover art, uh, Tika doesn't look that bad. Looks kind of cute. I think the bigger eyes and the mascara works a little bit better when it's a little bit more cartoony. But then when you put it into 3D, it doesn't work at all. It just
Yeah, it does not
is
translate.
bad. Is bad. Yeah.
Oh, Tika got fucked over in the animation.
Well, her personality is also awful. So it's not just maybe she deserves it.
What you get,
So Ro
being
and all
such a
the
piece
animal
of shit.
friends have been hanging out on this island for a good decade, and now we get the introduction of Prince Antonio, who likes to go out adventuring with his buddy Fraser, who's got these mad chops on the side.
Oh my God, iconic. Yeah, he's kind of like the bumbling sidekick character. He's always like looking at his little notebook and wandering around.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
they're
they come to the island. They're discovering shit. They oh, they took a tumble down the side of a well, through all the foliage, and then they end up in this little lagoon, and then they are attacked by crocodiles.
almost attacked.
Almost. Well, yeah, I love these
These
crocodiles.
crocodiles are great.
They're
This is one of the best scenes in the movie because Ro comes down and she can speak to all of the animals, and so she's just chatting with these crocodiles, like telling them not to eat them. And then one of them, Fang, is just in the middle of like about to bite one of their legs, and it's like Fang,
don't even
don't
think
even think
about
about it.
it.
He looks so disappointed. That was my tag. I get a little bit hungry sometimes, and I just want to
Are you
eat. But
Fang?
yeah, but sometimes I have to wait. Unfortunately,
Sometimes you can't eat Frasier's leg.
I can't. I can't. Come on, I'm hungry right now.
It looks so juicy. I know.
Fraser got
Don't even
some
think about it.
some meat on him. Get some of
He
that.
does. He's a little chunky.
Yeah, Fang with like the deer in the headlights eyes, which is like Fang, don't even
I
think about it.
know.
And he's like, oh, and then he just like kind of backs away.
I love his stupid little face. He's like my favorite character, and he's in there for like a few seconds.
Yeah, and the crocodiles are super chill. Like she's just like, don't do it,
Yeah, they're like,
basically, and they're
oh,
like,
okay.
all right, well, you heard her, can't do it.
Yeah, time to back off, I guess. Yeah,
And
they're
so
chill.
now Antonio sees Ro and he's like, whoa, and immediately
Oh,
just like,
hottie.
oh, you've been stuck here for so long, you should come back with me. And I feel like Ro decides really quickly.
Yeah,
Like,
well, and also it's she or he's like, you saved us, now let us save you. I'm like, she doesn't need to be saved. Like
if
she's
she's happy
she's doing
here,
great over here.
yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't need any saving. She doesn't need to be like civilized, but they have to bring her to civilization.
I can also see it a bit from her perspective, though, of wanting to see what more is out there. If that's the type of personality that she is. And it does seem like she is more of the adventurous type in comparison to
Yeah.
Tika, who is just like, do not leave me. Do not leave this island. Stay here.
Uh-huh. 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 And these are the first people she's ever seen before. So they're not like animals. And early on when they first see them, she's like, "Oh, it looks like me." And then Tika goes, "It must be bad." Like,
Yeah,
wow. Burn,
roasted.
Tika.
Yeah, there were some lines there where they were all super scared. It's like, what is that? And then she was saying it looks like me. And like, how do you not like put those two puzzle pieces together and be like, oh, they are basically the same shape. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're also confused, and it's you have a human right there.
Yeah. Come on, guys. It's not that hard to put together.
Apparently, it is. I don't know.
For
Yeah.
Tika, yeah.
Yeah, Tika's a little bit slow, but yeah, Ro
Yeah.
makes this decision pretty quickly because they leave the next day.
Yeah, they're just like, okay, well, the prince, I guess, is like, got what I came here for.
Yeah, I made a new discovery. Ro.
Also, he's like, wow, she's so different from other girls. She's not like other girls.
It's like, yeah, I mean, she's grew up on a deserted island. That'll make you a little bit different.
Yeah. Hmm. Oh, and then when they take off on the ship, and Ro's whole family comes with. So Azul and Saji and Tika are all on the ship.
Do you think
And then
it was safe to bring Tika on that little rowboat into
no,
into the ship from the
definitely
I
not.
think that thing would
No,
have sunk.
it's not a good call. I'm not sure how she made it
I guess
on the
Tika had to
ship.
go by herself on that one and to like push her from the
Maybe a
water to the
separate
ship.
trip. But did you notice that the parrot from 12 Dancing Princesses, Felix,
Yep.
just showed up, made a
It's
little
him.
appearance,
Straight
cameo?
up. Yeah.
Yeah,
And Antonio's
yeah.
like talking to the parrot be like, "How do I look?"
Parrot doesn't say
Unfortunately, yeah,
anything.
it doesn't say anything. It's not actually Felix. That would be insane if because Ro can talk to animals, right? So that'd be crazy if she talked to that parrot and it was just Felix, like the same
Whoa.
voice actor. We don't know for sure
No one can
because it
actually.
only talked to Antonio. So we don't know if it was actually Felix or not. Oh no, wait.
Yeah,
No, he was
yeah.
talk. Did all the people in 12 Dancing Princesses speak to animals?
I I think it was just the
Is
prince,
the
or
par-
no, the
I
cobbler or
the
whatever.
yeah,
Whatever his name is.
the
I can't
cobbler.
remember. The cobbler, he could talk to the bird, but I
I
don't
guess the
think anybody
parrot.
else could. Wait, no,
Yeah,
but parrots can
but
parrots can
parrots
talk.
can't hold full conversations like that.
This one could.
Yeah, Felix could. Maybe Felix just didn't
Felix
want to
is not
talk.
like other parrots.
No, Felix is
Yeah.
not.
Okay, yeah, I think in the 12 Dancing Princesses everybody could understand Felix
Yeah,
because he's a parrot and
because he knows speech so well that he can just have normal conversations.
yeah, yeah.
So we take this ship and get to the kingdom, and when they get off the ship, Ro says, "Oh, everybody is like me," and Tika immediately goes, "But nobody is like me. Let's go home, Ro." Like
Boo hoo.
just every single time Tika is on screen, it's just for some selfish stuff like that. Be like, "Oh, because
Like,
it's
it's
not
not
perfect
about
for
you,
me."
Tika.
You could have stayed
Mhm.
back if you wanted, if you're uncomfortable with nobody else looking like you. Although we did not see a single other elephant on that island, anyways. So does anybody
I
look
thought
like
about
you
that.
on that island? I don't know. Did you get shipwrecked there?
Yeah, we don't know Tika's backstory. Like, what happened to her parents?
Or if she
We'll
has
never know.
parents, I don't know. Or if she just existed. I don't
Yeah,
know.
did she wash up on the island?
And then they've got a carriage for them to go to the castle in, and Tika won't even let Ro into the carriage. She's like, "Stop! I have to take you there. You cannot ride on this carriage." And then Ro
Yeah,
just
she
goes,
grabs
"Well,"
Ro with her trunk.
Ro has to be like, I think I'm gonna go with Tika on this. Oh
Held hostage by this elephant.
my god.
Well, this
Ugh.
elephant could like kill her,
Probably
stomp on
could.
her skull. So
Yeah.
maybe Ro feels like she has to say
She
yes.
feels in danger. Like, well, I just have to.
Yeah, she's not guilted into doing things. She's just like living in constant fear.
Like in a scene earlier where they're like jumping into this pool on the island when they're doing the song. Like if they didn't get out of the way when Tika jumps in, they're all dead. They're all just
Oh, yeah.
absolutely crushed when she hits the water.
Uh-huh.
Gotta watch out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you also
Powerful
notice that the
characters.
person carrying the luggage to the carriage, Gerard was his name, is the same butler from 12 Dancing Princesses?
I did recognize Gerard.
Yeah. I don't think he was named Gerard in the 12 Dancing Princesses, but he's
No,
Gerard here. He's big enough that he has a name. I'm surprised. He's got top billing.
I don't think he needs a name though.
It's Gerard. We got
Everyone's
Ro,
favorite
we got
character.
Antonio, we got Tico, we got Gerard,
We got Fang.
we got Fang. Actually, though, Fang got a
Everybody's
name.
favorite.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
the most important
Oh,
thing.
did you also see Nalu, Prince Nalu,
I didn't see
the
Nalu.
from Mermaidia? Yeah, he was in the town. He was just a random NPC,
Oh,
but
wow. I found
he was
so
there.
many duplicate people and I didn't see there's still more in there.
There's more.
If
Yeah,
you
I think a few characters from 12 Dancing Princesses, a few of the princesses were there. They reused a lot of the dresses from 12 Dancing
Okay.
Princesses.
You could do a drinking game with this of every time you see a repeat character model, you have to
Oh my
drink.
God. That's amazing. Yeah, yeah, that could work.
Could get
We should play that sometime.
get destroyed on that.
Yeah. Well, there's more too because later the both the cats from Princess and the Pauper were there.
Yep, yep. Wolfie and
Serafina.
Serafina, yeah.
Yep, they were both there.
They think we wouldn't notice, but we did.
Can't get anything past us.
They just, I guess, have to hope that the parents only bought like two of the DVDs and just have the kids watch those over and over and over again. If you watch them in
Yeah, they didn't
succession like
expect.
this, you just see everybody, every single character showing up.
Mm-hmm. We see all.
We know all. We've seen them all.
Mm-hmm.
So we head
Yeah,
to the castle. Tika's taking Ro there.
Tika's just constantly cock blocking Ro and Antonio.
Yeah, that's basically half of this movie. It gets real bad.
Mm-hmm.
When we get introduced to Antonio's parents, the king and queen, we also get introduced to their monkey, um,
Yep.
Tallulah. As the movie goes on, I like her character more, but I hate her character design. It it creeps me
Yeah.
out.
It's very unsettling, very uncanny. I think it's that she looks a little too human. Like she looks kind of like a baby,
Yeah,
and she's supposed to be a monkey, but it's like this uncanny valley kind of thing where she's like monkey, but also yeah, a little
a
too
little bit like a
human.
child, and the king and queen also treat her like their child, basically, which like adds
Yeah.
to that. Like they don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't really feel like they treat her like a pet. It's like a child.
Right. Yeah, they carry her around like she's a little baby and yeah, it's weird.
And then when she
I
talks,
also
she is
agree that I
not.
like
She's not a baby. She's and I like her story as well. Of she was I basically taken from her family and then grew up at this castle. And so there's points where
what do
she's
you
kind of learning how to be a monkey again. And she talks about how she remembers, climbing trees with her brother and like doing all these things that monkeys normally do. I was like, wow, yeah, it just like got your normal monkey upbringing stolen from you so that you can hang out and
Yeah,
be
it's
like
kind of
dainty.
right, kind of fucked up. Like, and I'm assuming that it was Antonio on one of his travels who stole this
Yeah,
monkey away from her
maybe.
family. Like, uh, that's not
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. We're not explicitly told how she ended up with the royal family, but we do know that she was with her family originally, and that she was playing with her brother, and then now she's here.
Yeah, well, and the mom at one point, the queen is like, when Antonio introduces them to Ro and then the other animals, the mom is like, "Oh, have you brought me another pet?"
Oh well,
So
there it
Antonio
is.
definitely,
It was
yeah,
either Tallulah or a
definitely
different
was
pet.
one of his
So
monkey.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
brought back animals from his travels, and I guess he brought back three this time with Azul, Saji, and Tika. Take Tika. We don't
Yeah.
we don't need Tika. She could
Yeah, we're
she
good.
could she could stay here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we get introduced to the parents, we get introduced to the dad. Oh man, he is.
He's very controlling.
Yes, and very very specific of how he has to marry a princess, nothing less. And then of course the mom is over here like, well, you did the same things that Antonio is doing as a child. And he's like, well, but don't talk about that.
It's it's different.
Yeah, it's different for me and him.
Okay, Dad.
And that's
I can
basically
do it, but
his whole character for like 90% of this movie is just making this
yeah.
marriage that he has set up go forward just constantly.
Yeah, he's just forcing his son to get married. And then we meet the princess he's supposed to be married to, Princess Luciana. She is great.
Yeah,
I
super
love
cool.
her.
Yeah.
She she doesn't have a jealous bone in her body. She like I could see where they might go um almost like a competitive route between the two women because at the beginning like she can tell that Antonio has feelings for Ro and she's just like, "Okay, that's great. You guys should get together." She's like, "Oh, I would love to fall in love, but I want somebody to love me back." And she's just like happy for them and it was very refreshing to see like, women supporting women um, having each other's back.
Yeah. And she's in it for the love. She wants to find someone that is actually on her wavelength. And there's a bunch of scenes throughout the movie where it's, they're talking about their interests and it just doesn't really align, and certain values that don't align as well. And they can both see that, but they're both
Yeah.
basically being controlled by the king and then
Your parents.
Queen Ariana.
Oh
Queen
boy.
Ariana
Oh boy, our
is
villain.
something else. I mean, her lines are crazy, and I kind of love it. So when they're talking
Yeah.
about true love, basically, and how Princess Luciana is like, you know, I want to marry someone that I love, and then Queen Ariana is like, I certainly didn't love your father when I married him. It's like, okay,
Damn. And then
cool.
we find out what happened to her father, right?
Yeah. So when we get to Queen Ariana's song, um, the lines, there's a bunch of really good lines in this. Some of them are, I found the oldest king that I could. His heart condition was a plus. Brutal.
Mm.
Sunday we were wed. Wednesday he was dead. It's
Damn.
crazy.
Like she's confessing to so much shit in this song. Like how many people has she murdered?
So yeah, so the reason that she wanted to get royalty was, this is basically all just a revenge plot against the king and queen, because her family, I'm not sure if it's just her family or her, like if she had a role in it, but basically her family tried to kill the king and queen, and
Yeah,
they were
no
just,
big deal.
yeah, it was fine. Yeah, it was just a little petty thing like that. And so they were surprisingly sent to a pig farm instead of just being like, I don't know, at this time period, I thought they'd just be like straight up
Executed.
executed. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't know
Yeah.
with this much like animosity from Queen Ariana to the king and queen, you have to imagine that she played some sort of role in that because now, like, basically her entire life's mission is to kill the king and queen and then take over. Like, the only reason that she had Luciana as a child was specifically to marry this specific prince because she says when I heard that the
Right.
king and queen had a son, I had a daughter right away. I'm like, one, who was that with? Was that with the king that died in 4 days, or was that somebody else? Or
She just found another dude.
and then you just got
Yeah.
lucky getting a daughter on the first go around? I don't know.
Yeah. And what happened? I feel like she probably killed Luciana's dad too.
Yeah, could have been. Or he
She's
had a heart
pretty
attack.
close.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole song is filled with just incredible. Yeah, she talks about her family trying to kill the king and queen and that they got banished, then that she married an old king and he died within 4 days, and then the that she had a daughter right away to marry this son from the king and queen so that she could kill them.
Yeah.
Insane.
Wow. This plot.
Incredibly unhinged. I'm here for it though.
Oh yeah, I support it.
It's great. There was another really good line right before
Yeah.
the song where Luciana's talking about things that she that she's reading in these books, and Ariana goes, "You need to stop reading those books, filling your head with thoughts." it's so
I know
it's
that
so
line is so
stupid.
good.
It's great.
No, you're not allowed to think.
Head
None
empty.
of that.
Okay, smooth
No
brain, head
thoughts.
empty. Yeah,
Yep.
Queen Ariana
Yep.
is great. So
Well,
while
then
we
we.
we have all of this going on, we also have Ro staying in the greenhouse. First, she goes to the stables and meets some pigs, and then they take her to the greenhouse. These pigs
Yeah, she
will
meets the
come in
pig in
later. The
charge,
pig in charge,
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo. Yeah, how does he get a name? He's there for like a minute. I don't know.
He's very important.
I mean, the only reason they're there is because of the whole like Queen Ariana like getting sent to a pig farm and like that whole
Right, her
plot line.
pig
That's
trauma.
yeah, she does have a lot of pig trauma. So now we get kind of the quick courting process, which includes this meeting for afternoon tea. And I don't know, it seems really weird to bring Ro to this afternoon tea with the person that you're supposed to be marrying and their mom and then your parents. It's just a weird vibe. I don't get it.
It's a little awkward.
Like, that is a really tough spot to put Ro into. She's been in civilization
Yeah.
for like a day, and then she has to go and deal with all of this. Just
Yeah,
being
throw her
like
into
a
a old tea
third
party.
wheel to this whole thing going on, this marriage thing.
Yeah, no wonder she like ran off crying.
She also got stuff spilled on her,
Yeah, that's
which
true.
helps.
But
When
Luciana
Queen
was helping her.
was, yeah, very nice of like showing her how to drink tea the proper way.
Hmm.
Did you notice that when Queen Ariana like tripped Gerard, the butler?
Oh right, Gerard.
So
How could I forget?
yeah, so she tripped him so that he would spill all of his cookies on Ro. The angle that Queen Ariana was at, it goes like Queen Ariana, then you have Luciana, and then you have Ro. If she tripped him like that, I'm pretty sure all of the food would have ended up on Luciana. Like, I'm
Huh.
surprised that that food got all the way over to Ro and did not hit anybody else. It's kind of
Yeah,
impressive
how
from
did that
Gerard.
happen?
I don't know how he did it.
Did he want to hit Ro?
I don't know. Maybe he's in on it.
Is he in on it? Is he an
Oh
accomplice?
man, how could you, Gerard?
Gerard, you betrayed us.
Disappointed.
Then we find out that there's a big engagement ball happening between Luciana and Antonio, even though neither of them wants to be engaged or married.
And they pull this
But
stuff
this means,
together really quickly, it seems. Like
oh
they've like
yeah,
pushed
yeah,
up the wedding and all of this stuff, and I'm just surprised that all the other guests can make it on such short notice for all these random changes that keep happening.
that is really short notice, and a lot of these guests are traveling from out of town.
Yeah, multiple days
Like,
travel. And I don't know.
not
Does
like
it?
they could just shoot him a text.
Yeah, like hey, we're moving up the engagement ball and the wedding a day. You able to make it, even though it takes like 4
Yeah.
days to get here?
Yeah, the logistics don't quite make sense.
Oh well, everybody somehow makes it.
Yeah, yeah. But then we get to see a fashion montage with Ro, and Saji apparently has all of this knowledge about fashion. He's the one, he and Tallulah kind of have a back and forth where they're competing with each other, trying to get Ro to wear whatever they want.
I mean, I have to say that Saji's recommendations, I get where he's coming from. The whole idea of respecting your roots, most of it does not work. Just put a pineapple in a
No.
bowl on top of your head.
Yeah, that's not it, Saji.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised they didn't bring Azul in, because then when Azul comes in to kind of finish the dress, it works great. Like they should have brought
Yeah,
Azul in from
he
the start.
right, what was Azul doing?
Busy doing something else, I guess.
But he gives Ro some of his precious feathers, peacock feathers, to finish off her outfit.
It's a good outfit. It's a good dress.
Yeah,
The
covered
blues,
in glitter.
yeah, work really well with the peacock feathers in the back.
It all came together.
It did, with like none of Saji's input.
Yeah,
I
fuck
think
you,
it was all
Saji.
Tallulah and then Azul's feathers. She didn't wear a
Yeah,
pineapple on her
yeah,
head. I'm disappointed. I feel like this
yeah,
was
yeah.
also
I
one of the first
know.
times that we saw Azul actually be like full on kind, like not being like pushed into it. Like he's not being forced to do this. Like this is the first
Yeah,
time that he's actually gone out of his way to be a giving person, which was nice.
yes. He gave her those feathers of his own free will.
Did you notice more people at the ball? More people from
More people.
past Barbie movies.
Oh, who
We
is it
had
now?
Prince Julian.
Oh,
He was
I
the one
did see
dancing with
Julian.
Luciana. And also
That's
who she kind of
right.
got together with at the end, who they kind of like
Ah.
imply that something's going to happen there, was Julian. I guess it didn't work out for him
Oh,
previously.
I was gonna say, I wonder what Princess Annalise thinks of that.
Yeah, I don't know. Does she know, or is he a divorcee? Is he a widower? I don't know what's going on
Whoa,
here. She dead?
what happened? I gotta know.
They don't answer those questions. Prince Julian's just here.
Burning questions.
I don't know.
Okay, well, yeah, he was there. Was there anybody else?
That's the only one that I noticed from the ball. There probably is more. There was a lot of people, but
Yeah, Nalu probably was there again.
just half of the other Barbie movies are there. I have
Yeah.
to assume that,
God, I wish
anyways.
Preminger was there.
He could have been. We just didn't notice
Yeah,
it
I
in
feel
the
like I
like
would
20
have
people.
recognized him.
You would have hoped. He sticks out.
He's kind of hard to miss.
Maybe he's the
Yeah.
neutered Preminger from the other movie, and so he's a little bit harder to spot. The more he just lost all personality from 12 Dancing
It was
Princesses.
really sad. I didn't like seeing him that way.
No, it's not right. How could you do that to Preminger? So at this ball, Antonio basically proposes to Ro, and then Ro's just like, I can't do it. You've got Luciana, and just immediately leaves. Um,
Uh,
and that's how that ball ends, unfortunately.
yeah, and is this when the prince has a conversation with his dad? And he's just basically like, "Fuck you, dad. I'm not gonna be the king, or I'm not gonna be the prince anymore. I'm not going to get married to Luciana. I'm going to go do my own thing. And he like gives up the crown.
Yeah,
The bold.
it is. Yeah, it's a power move. And
Mm-hmm.
at that point, we then get the probably the most annoying and worst scene with Tika. So
Oh God.
basically,
Yeah.
Antonio wants to run away with Ro and like get on the ship and go somewhere else. And he writes this note telling Ro to meet him and that they will go together. And so he writes this letter and puts it in the greenhouse where she's staying. And then Tika just grabs it and just like, Ro's not getting this. And so then Antonio just
Can't
stands
take my
out.
rose.
Yeah. So yeah, Antonio just stands outside the whole night and then is basically, in a way, stood up, cock blocked by Tika. It's just like,
Again,
ugh.
fucking Tika. Like, let Ro be happy, please. Why are you like this?
It's just like the most needy character in the world with attachment issues.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you have Saji and Azul as well. Like
Yeah,
it's
you're not
not just
alone.
Ro. Come on.
Don't don't put all of your hopes on Ro.
Not always going to
She's
be
not
there
your
for you.
everything.
No.
Hmm.
So at this point, we get to see the three rats from
I
from the Queen, from Queen Ariana. We've
yeah,
got
from the
Nat,
top
Pat, and
one.
Matt, the rats, and this is probably the worst song of
It's
the
so
movie.
bad.
They're just singing about cheese for the entire thing because they're bribed into giving all this poison to the animals to try and frame Ro, to
Again, we
get
got
to kick her
poison,
out of the.
a
Yep, gotta
classic.
have the
Yeah.
poison. And the way that Queen Ariana talks to these rats, it's like she knows that they can understand them. It's weird. Like she's
Yeah.
giving them these
Yeah.
specific orders. Giving them specific orders. Like she's got the poison and like you have to sprinkle this into animals' food and then you will get cheese and she just shows a plate and they know.
So she can talk to animals
But
too, just
we
like
don't know for
Ro.
sure because they didn't actually have a conversation. She just sings to them and they do it. But it's
Maybe
like she
animals
knows that
can
they
understand
understand.
human speech.
But how
Okay,
does
so
she know
maybe
that?
animals can understand. Well, yeah, that
That's
kind
the
of makes it
question.
fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she learned how to talk to animals when she was on the pig farm.
Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, she gives very explicit instructions to these rats to go and sprinkle it into all this food.
Yeah, yep. And then they sing about cheese, which I'm like, why? It's so unnecessary, this song. Also, why is one of the rats a mime? Do
Yeah,
you have an explanation for
I
that?
don't. Honestly, I thought he was a convict originally. I thought that was his
Because he's in the
costume.
black and white?
Yeah, I thought he was in a
Yeah,
jumpsuit. And then in the song, he's doing mime stuff. I'm like, okay, he's a mime. I thought he was a
that's his
criminal.
shtick. Yeah.
I have no
I
idea.
mean, he's both.
I guess. Yeah, he is. He is a criminal as well. I have no idea. I have no explanation for why it's a mime. No idea.
Like
There's no reason.
the other two are just normal rat. I mean, they're not
They're
normal, but
gross. Yeah,
they're
they're disgusting,
rats.
but they are rats.
Yeah, and
I
they kind
don't
of have
know.
similar costumes. But then this third one is just like one of these is not like the other. Like what are you doing?
Did they
Why are
want
you like this?
one to be distinct? I don't know.
I guess I just don't know whose decision that was, and I have questions.
Yeah. Like we're making three rats. Two of them will just be regular rats with some clothes. This one's gonna be a mime. And then they're like, all
For
right,
some
criminal
reason.
jumpsuit, got it. We'll put that in there.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah, it was a
Nailed it.
bad song. Really, really annoying. They also sprinkled the poison, like when they were gonna poison Tallulah, they sprinkled it on bananas. They sprinkled it onto the skin of the bananas, so it might not have
If
worked,
you-
depending on how she ate it. Like if you pull the top of banana off, you don't really have to touch the skin, and then you can just eat the banana and then throw it away. but she still got poisoned
I
somehow.
think she
I
just
don't know. Maybe she just
I
eats it
think she just
whole.
ate the whole thing.
But she's so civilized
Wow.
now. I don't know.
That's true. Well, she's getting back in touch with her roots
It's
more.
true. Maybe she just raw dog that whole banana. Just ate the whole thing.
It's hungry.
That's how you can feel like you're with your family again by just munching a whole banana.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
This is also the scene where we saw Wolfie. Wolfie gets his
Yes.
food poisoned. Poor Wolfie.
Sorry. Rip
Unknown
Wolf.
if Wolfie got the the elixir to heal him or if Wolfie just died.
God, I would hope he's okay. And Serafina, we see her in a similar scene, I think.
I guess it
Yeah, we
depends on
work
if
that.
they are able to give the elixir to the masses or if the royalty only cares about healing their own
Oh, dang.
animals.
Didn't think about that. I just assumed all the animals were healed, but they didn't show it, so. Oh,
Yeah. Also, the rats were left with a single crumb of cheese. I don't know how often Ariana just pranks them with just giving them a single piece of cheese instead of a lot of cheese. If it's happened before, they just keep falling for it.
yeah.
Just stupid
Well,
rats.
there's probably not a lot going on in their little brains.
True, it's just cheese and mime. That's all that's going on in
Yeah,
there.
he spends all his brain power on being a mime.
It's really hard work. So
Yeah.
of course, now that all of these animals have been poisoned and Ro can talk to the animals, the king and queen are like, oh, it's her because Frasier had the thought implanted into his brain from Queen Ariana, saying that of course it's Ro because she could talk to animals. I'm not gonna tell you that I can also talk to animals. That's
Yeah, I'll have to
unnecessary.
keep that a little secret.
Also, did
But
you notice
because she's
who the
new.
voice of Frasier is?
No, who is it? Is it
Des.
Frasier?
It's Desmond.
Desmond,
It's
my
Desmond.
man. Yes.
They've just got like
I
a
can see it.
stable of voice actors that they just keep on bringing back for all these different characters.
Amazing.
Yeah. So Ro gets thrown into the dungeon because she's suspected of poisoning all the animals, and they also poison the prison food too because they get the food and then
Yeah, I don't know
Azul eats
why.
some and then he falls asleep because of the sunset herb, this poison that they're putting into everything. Did did Ariana try and put the sunset herb into the food to try and just straight up kill Ro and just got Azul by
Yeah,
mistake?
I think she did. I think she tried to kill like everybody.
Because, yeah, later she poisons the cake too, which is a bunch of collateral damage. That's basically everybody besides her, and then she tells Luciana not to eat. So, like, every single guest at the wedding would eat the cake and then presumably die.
Yeah, this is a massacre. She's not just targeting the king and queen.
It's like
She's targeting the
every
entire wedding,
every like
every
royal
all the
family in the land.
yeah,
It's insane.
brutal. Yeah, she is unhinged.
Yeah. So Antonio basically makes a deal with the king. Like, if you let Ro go back to her island, I will marry Luciana. And so she gets on a boat to go back. And then Queen Ariana is still there bribing the sailor to basically kill Ro on this boat. And so at one point she gets
Yeah.
thrown off the boat, and the only reason that she lives is because she can call these dolphins that are strong enough to pick up not only her but a whole ass baby elephant in Tika and
Yeah,
swim them all back to
how?
shore.
Yeah, like there's no way these dolphins can carry a elephant. Like these dolphins must be super strong.
Yeah, because Tika's heavy.
Yeah.
Also, we
Also, yeah, it's totally overkill for Ariana to kill Ro. Like Ro was already going back home. She wasn't gonna bother anybody. She wasn't gonna ruin the wedding. She was leaving.
I guess
But
Ariana
Ariana's like,
doesn't know loose ends basically. Like, I don't want
Yeah,
her to
or she's just
possibly
out for
come
blood.
back. Yeah, maybe she just enjoys it. It's like sport, killing for
Yeah,
sport.
yeah,
I don't
I
know.
could see that. Yeah,
Yeah, she's
move her
crazy.
faster.
We also watch Tika just like slowly drown in this scene when they're
Yeah,
like overboard, and you're just like watching her just like blubbering and slowly going under this cold water. Like, wow, this is kind of brutal.
it was hard to watch.
Just like watching her almost like die of hypothermia. Like, under this
Yeah,
water.
she's like, it's so cold.
These are my
Just
last
shivering.
words.
Oh, remember me.
It's like, don't worry, I'll just bring in the beefy dolphins here to carry her ass all the way back to the kingdom.
These, these fucking swole ass dolphins.
So of course they come back.
No, no worries.
They make it back. These
Oh,
dolphins
and
can
we.
somehow do it.
Oh, and then was it on the boat that Rose sings the song to Tika? Um, because Tika's all
Oh
like,
yeah. She
"Leave me. I'm gonna be all alone."
yeah, she confesses on the boat that she took the letter from Antonio and didn't tell her.
That's right.
And then just like, oh,
Yeah.
I was worried that you were gonna leave. And then Rose basically just like, oh, I've got way more love to give. Antonio, you,
Yeah.
the rest of the crew, it's fine.
Yeah. Tika was really operating from a scarcity mindset.
She
Like she
was,
was just
yeah.
like, you only can love like one person.
And
But Rose like,
yeah,
I have enough love for
she
everyone.
probably thinks that because that's the only thing that she's capable of. She's only capable of loving Roan. It's like, well, you have to be the same way
Yeah,
as
you're
me,
right.
right?
Huh? People are different?
Wait,
Can't be.
you can care about more than one person? It's not possible.
No, no. I can't do it, so no one can.
It's a good message, though, to kids
Oh
in
yeah,
the
I
song
agree.
of
I
being
really
like,
like that
yeah,
song.
of like, yeah, the more people to love is, your family, your friend group, all of that just grows larger and stronger, which is a really good
Right.
message
Right.
for kids. It's just too
Mm-hmm.
bad that it had to be directed towards Tika.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. Great message. Expansive love. Enough love for everybody. And it works for Tika. Like right after the song, she's just like all her jealousy and insecurity just magically disappears and she's just like, "Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
Let's go back and save the day and you can marry Antonio and we're all chill."
and then she almost
Just like
drowns.
maybe if Ro had sang that yeah. Maybe if Ro had sang that song a little earlier, it would have been Tika would have been less insufferable.
I guess she didn't realize until this whole letter debacle and that whole thing when she actually confessed to all of the cock blocking that she's been doing for the entirety of the movie.
Yeah.
That Rose
Yeah.
just like, all right, I gotta step in now. This is this is
Yeah.
too much.
Gone too far. This is out of hand.
Ugh. Yeah, Tika gets a lot better after
But
that.
some good. Yeah, good character development from Tika. She learns.
Yes,
She grows.
that you can care about more than one person.
Yeah. Also, the dolphins ferry them back. I wonder how far those dolphins had to swim
The
carrying an
boat had
elephant.
left within the day, and they fell out of the boat at night. So I guess they've been sailing for at least probably 6 to 10 hours. So at least a good
Holy
ways.
shit. Those dolphins are the MVPs.
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder if the Dolphins had to swap off who carried Tika. They got partway there and it's like,
yeah, I was like,
I can't do it
anymore.
anymore. Let me get a break here. I'll carry Saji or something. Just you
I'm
carry
tapping
Tika for a
out,
little
bro.
while. Also, what is in this for me? What is Ro giving us here? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. What are the dolphins getting out of this?
Friendship, I guess.
Yeah, the power of friendship.
Yeah.
Very magical.
So Ro gets
Yeah.
back just in time to start making this elixir for the poison, and then to just expose Queen Ariana's plan to everybody because there was this little bird that saw her putting the poison onto the cake, and so the little bird comes up and tells Ro that the poison's on the cake. And again, it's crazy. She's just trying to murder everybody in
Mm-hmm.
at
Mm-hmm.
this party. And also, how does she really think that Luciana would be okay after that? Like, I feel like she would just be like a
Yeah.
shell. She just like watches 20 something people die like in front of her and
Yeah,
just
you
like,
killed everyone
yeah.
around me. You killed my new in-laws, you killed my husband, you like all the guests. Yeah, how am I gonna I'm gonna need a lot of therapy.
Maybe Ariana doesn't even care. It's just like, oh, if she doesn't want to be
I
here,
don't
I'll
think
just be
she
queen or
does.
something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe she didn't intend for
Because it sounded like
Luciana to be queen.
the original plan was for Luciana to be there and be the princess, and then her to kind of like be the puppet master behind the scenes.
Right, right.
Luciana would
Mhm.
just be a figurehead, be
Yeah.
Ariana,
I wonder
I
if
guess.
eventually she would kill Luciana.
Honestly, probably. She doesn't
Yeah.
have any qualms with killing people, so
Hmm.
I'm sure she'd be fine doing that.
Yeah, especially if Luciana wasn't doing as she was told.
Yeah. I could see Ariana
Yeah.
just again cutting off the loose ends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and then Luciana's the one who also figures it out that the cake is poisoned because she's like, "You told me not to eat anything because it's poisoned."
And she needed to be the one to say that because they don't trust Ro right now because they
Right.
think
Yeah,
that
they don't believe
she's the one to
the
poison
island
everybody.
girl.
So Ariana tries to flee on the carriage, and a chase ensues. And then at one point, Ro it was it Ro? I believe it was Ro who threw the stick.
Yeah, she grabbed the stick.
She grabs a
Yeah.
stick and launches it at the spokes of the carriage, and she nails it right into the spokes and like breaks the tire. Like, what a throw!
Right? She has a great
Incredible
arm.
accuracy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really impressed by that.
And of course, Ariana ends up in the pig pen at the end. I feel like that's
Mhm.
that's where she ends up. Like, we don't see what happens to her afterwards. Really?
Yeah, she just ends up in the mud.
Like, is she in the dungeon?
Pig.
Was she executed? I don't
With the
know.
pig's eater.
But now we get the true marriage at the end, because now the parents are like, or the king specifically is just like, wow, you saved my life. Yeah, you can marry Antonio, I guess. That's fine.
I guess. Yeah.
But spoiler alert, Ro is a princess anyways. Yeah, it's
No
crazy.
way.
Absolutely
Never would have
insane.
thought. Her mom comes to the wedding. Her mom is like a royal and gets invited. Oh, no, and then when Rose like drowning, she has a flashback of herself almost drowning as a kid from the shipwreck, and she remembered people calling her name.
Yeah,
People being
Rosella.
like, "Rosella, Rosella." So
So
she
it's all
remembers
coming
her full
back.
name.
So now it doesn't even matter, like, in terms of whether she's royalty or not royalty, as to
Yeah,
If they can
very
marry or not.
convenient. Hmm.
Because a commoner couldn't marry Antonio. Can't marry into that family.
Yeah, I kind of wish she wasn't a princess, you know? It's a little too convenient, a little too perfect. Like if she had just been kind of like a rando, like she could have still reunited with her parent, but it's just like what's wrong with like the prince marrying just a rando, you know?
Yeah,
What's
random
wrong with
person.
that?
Well, it was fine. The king was ready to allow that before they find out that she is a princess. But yeah,
That's
that
true.
I think the reason was just that they could have her mom, one of the queens of another place, come and be at the wedding, and then they have the reuniting.
You know what the real reason was?
Oh, what is the real reason?
Is so that they could It's so that they could name this movie Barbie as the Island Princess.
I didn't even think about that. She could have been a princess on the island without being a
Yeah.
real princess, but that is true. Had How did I not see that coming? It was in the
Or the
title.
spoiler was in the
Oh
title.
man,
Yeah,
how did I not see that? Man.
right there the whole time.
So she gets reunited. We have the wedding. Her and Antonio get together, and this is where we also see Luciana getting cozy with Julian. I get
Julian, what are
Julian.
you
What are you doing,
doing?
man? Come on. What is this?
Where's
What?
Annalise?
What happened?
Is Annalise okay with this? Maybe she is.
Unknown.
Oh.
We don't know. We also don't know if it's okay for Gerard to be working two jobs right now. Like, if that's all right. There's a lot of questions about these other people.
He's got to make ends meet somehow.
He's getting minimum wage out here. He can't survive. And then they go on the honeymoon at the end, and they bring all the animal friends there. That's going to be a wild honeymoon with all that. I guess Tika's a little bit better now, but still, seems like a lot of stuff going on.
Was that the honeymoon, or was it just like they wanted to go travel and explore together? Because
I think it pulled double duty
okay,
as that. But yes, they also
I
did
guess
want
we
to go
need
out
both.
and explore and stuff. Yeah. And that is the end of The Island Princess. I did really
But we
enjoy
did
this
get
one.
some outtakes.
Oh, we do. We do have some. I don't want to say great outtakes. They're not that great. There's a couple of
No.
solid ones. I think it's bookended with some good ones. You've got
Mhm.
Azul missing a scene that he's supposed to be in because he's rocking out to some music. And
Got his
then
headphones on.
you all have a one at the end where we've got the obligatory phone call in the middle of filming where they're like, "Oh, what,
You know.
whose ringtone is that?" It's like, "Oh, it's not mine." It ends up being Tika.
Yeah, Tika's mom's calling.
Wild.
So she does have a
Oh, that's
mom.
true. Didn't think about that. Okay.
What happened?
Yeah, where is the mom? Was the mom fine with Tika
Where?
just disappearing to this new place and leaving the island? Is that okay?
Guess maybe her mom was just as annoyed with her as we were.
Maybe she just wants her gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than those though, there
Yeah.
wasn't anything I don't know, super standout in the
Yeah, the
bloopers.
rest of them were just them like falling and crashing into things, like
There was
slapstick.
a couple with Tallulah and like the umbrella, and the umbrella wouldn't open on
Oh
one of them, and
yeah.
then the umbrella she got stuck in the umbrella on another one, and then it was a different
Hilarious.
color. It's just like three of basically the same ones with the umbrella. And you're like, okay, I'm kind of done.
Yep. Let's move on from the umbrella.
Good to see the outtakes back though. I appreciate
Yeah,
them, even
yeah.
though they weren't anything super special.
It's still fun.
Always enjoy those. So that is Barbie as the Island Princess. What did you think about this one?
I loved it. It's a classic Barbie movie. The songs slap. They're so good, except for the fucking cheese one.
But it's
I
the
I
rats. The rats
can't.
are also gross, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, we hate the rats. But
Hate
yeah, the
convict
songs were
rat.
really solid. Convict mime rat. Why?
Yeah, the songs were good.
Um, I feel like the movie had a really good message, like multiple good messages about being able to love like more than just one person and
If it doesn't feel right with a certain person, there's no obligation for certain things.
right.
Like if you just aren't on the same wavelength, that's okay. Which was
Right.
nice.
Even if
Yeah,
the other person's nice, it might
yeah.
not be a good fit.
There were lots of good messages. Yeah, I also really like this one. Luciana and Antonio's relationship is really nice. They have several scenes where they can see that it's just not going to work out, and then at the end, it's just like, yeah, you should you know to row basically. You should go and be with Antonio because that's you guys are made for each other basically, and I will find someone, you know.
Yeah,
And
I'll find
that's
Julian.
I'll find Julian, yeah, from another movie. I'll find Julian.
Yeah, it was so nice, so refreshing. She wasn't like scheming or trying to get the guy. Like I could have easily seen her as being the villain character, but they didn't play it that way, which I really appreciated. She was just happy for Ro and Antonio. She's just like, yeah, I hope someday I can find somebody who looks at me the same way you look at Ro. I thought that was really
Yeah,
sweet
this is a
line.
nice sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
So let's give out some grades here. For this movie, we settled on an A for this one. Does not reach
Yeah.
the S heights of something Princess and the Pauper, and I think the only reason for that is because of Preminger. Because
Yeah, Preminger's
Premin
not in this one, so we
because
can't really give
yeah,
it an S.
because it just in terms of the villain, it's just not Preminger levels. It's close though, and it has a lot of good songs like Princess and the Pauper. So we gave
Mhm.
it the movie as a whole an A. For the villain rankings, Ariana gave her a B. I love how unhinged she is and how bloodthirsty she is. She is crazy.
She just to kill everybody.
It's great. I'm I'm just
Mm-hmm.
so surprised that they let that into the movie. Honestly,
Support her in her murderous rampage. Like, get
honestly,
it,
I
girl.
do. Yeah, it makes the movie more interesting. Higher stakes
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
people are just gonna get murdered. Like all of the royal families are just gonna die right here at this wedding.
Yeah. Better find a way to stop her.
For the animal sidekick rankings, Tika, as much as it's nice to see her have character development, big F on that still. My God, is she just
Yeah.
so annoying throughout this movie, and her character design is hideous as well.
Yeah, she's just insufferable all around. And until the very end when she, has some growth, but it's yeah, it's hard to watch her most of the movie. Just like, oh, can you just let Ro be happy? Like, can
Let
you
her
be
live her
a
life,
supportive friend?
basically.
Yeah, stop being so controlling.
Ugh. For the other animals, though, an A for them. I did really like Saji and Azul. I think, especially them together. I think if it was just one or the other, maybe it wouldn't have worked as well. But I think you needed like the straight man to Azul's kind of more wild personality to kind of balance that whole thing out and rein one of them in or kind of bring more out of the other. I
Yeah,
think they worked
yeah, they
well.
fit really well together.
And then Tallulah as well. I don't like her design at all, but I think her character is really nice. I like her personality.
Yeah,
So,
agreed. Oh,
oh,
I never gave my tag.
oh yes, who is your tag?
Um, well, my tag was Luciana because she loves like reading and painting, and she's kind of like soft spoken and um just like a chill person. I'd like to think that I'm like her. I might struggle with jealousy a little bit more than she does,
Yeah,
but
she's yeah, no jealousy in there. It's pretty crazy.
I strive to be like Luciana.
It's a good tag.
Yeah.
You can have aspirational things within the tag. So that will wrap up this month's episode of the Barbie Council. On next month's episode, we're going to be diving back into the fairy movies, Fairytopia adjacent. We're kind of going back to that old style of the main character, Barbie, telling a story about another universe in the original universe, in the Fairytopia universe. So in the next one, Barbie Mariposa, Bibble will be there, but not very much. He's
Thank God.
a very minor character. So it'll be nice to see a fairy movie that does not feature a lot of Bibble. I think it'll be refreshing.
Yes, a small mercy, a treat for us.
Can't get rid of him completely. They needed to make sure he was in there kind of for the fans,
Why? Oh, for the
Yeah, the
fans. Yeah,
fans.
you're
The fans
right.
wanted
Oh,
wanted Bibble back. So again, that finishes up this month's episode of the Barbie Council. New episodes release on the first day of every month. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever else you get your podcasts. Make sure to follow us on your podcast service of choice so you never miss out on a new episode. We are also on YouTube at the Barbie Council. There you can watch the video version of the podcast launching alongside the audio version every month. Spotify also has the video version if you want to check that out. So subscribe to the YouTube channel and you can be notified of each new episode.
If you want to follow our podcast on social media, we're at Barbie Council on Instagram and at Barbie Podcast on Twitter. Our email is thebarbieCouncil@gmail.com. If you want to follow me, Brianna, I'm at Brianna Valine on Instagram and Twitter.
And I'm at Kevin Valine on Twitter. So that wraps up this month's meeting of the Barbie Council. Until next month, meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.